warmest greetings to all of you. Welcome back to Craft Your Future, the channel dedicated to sharing knowledge for holistic personal growth through inspiring books. Have you ever wondered why a single criticism, blame, or judgment sticks with you so easily, while words of praise seem to fade quickly? Despite being the most evolved beings, we carry an instinct to cling to fear, effortlessly focusing on the negative, sadness, hurt, and pain. Joy, on the other hand, slips away from us far too fast. Living in the most prosperous era in history, most people still struggle to find happiness. For hundreds of millions of years, our brains evolved to prioritize detecting danger. This negativity bias causes painful memories, failures, or losses to latch tightly onto our neurons, easily triggering anxiety and anger. This mechanism once saved our ancestors from predators, but today, it traps us in a cycle of stress and distress. Dr. Rick Hanson, renowned American neuropsychologist and one of the leading experts in the field of intentional neuroplasticity, combines neuroscience, positive psychology, and evolutionary biology to create the book I'm thrilled to share with you today, Hardwiring Happiness, or, as I've translated it, Wiring for Happiness. Through this book, he reveals a hopeful truth. You can build a peaceful, resilient, and deeply fulfilled mind to live a joyful life by rewiring your brain. You may have heard about methods to cultivate happiness through philosophy, Buddhism, or psychology on channels like Better Version. But today, with a neuroscience perspective, I hope to guide you through a new path to confidently overcome anxiety and distress and truly experience a life of authentic joy. So let's dive in and listen. Why does the brain need rewiring? Living in this world, we face countless challenges, both external and internal. Scientists suggest that whether a person can overcome difficulties depends on three factors. First, the severity of the challenge. Second, the level of vulnerability, how sensitive you are to the situation. Third, your coping capacity, whether you have the inner strength to face it. Among these, the third factor, inner strength, is the most critical. Dr. Rick Hanson explains that about 1/3 of our inner strength comes from genetics, the traits inherited from our parents. The remaining 2/3 are built through daily practice and accumulation. If you don't know how to cultivate this inner strength, you might let life sweep you along, leaving your fate to chance. But when you understand how to train your inner resilience, you can live a life filled with happiness and peace. So, how do we train it? From a neuroscience perspective, Dr. Hanson introduces a practical method, rewiring the brain through practicing neuroplasticity. What does neuroplasticity mean? The term sounds complex, but simply put, it's the nervous system's ability to adapt. Our brains consist of countless neurons connected in intricate neural networks. These networks shape how you respond to events. For example, when a student hears the word test, they immediately feel stressed. That's because their neural pathways are wired to trigger anxiety in response to that cue. What we need to train is the ability to change how these neural pathways respond. Research shows that neuroplasticity depends on experiences. The author notes that what you focus on shapes your brain. Each person tends to pay attention to different things based on their interests and deeply ingrained experiences. Someone obsessed with making money is drawn to high-profit business models. A gossip enthusiast can't resist a rumor because their brain is wired to focus on social stimuli. Others, feeling unfulfilled and craving health or longevity, have brains that fixate on bodily aches, reacting strongly to any sign of discomfort or illness. The more a neural pathway is drawn to something, the more you experience it. The neuroscience principle of survival of the busiest states that frequently used neural connections grow stronger and more stable. The more you focus on something, the more you reinforce its connection, whether positive or negative. However, for most of us, neural connections strengthen around negative experiences. This is due to a protective mechanism called the bad is stronger than the good. The brain is designed to ensure our survival. It prioritizes detecting threats, heightening alertness, and responding quickly to danger. For instance, if you're walking alone in a dark alley and sense someone following you, your brain instantly activates its alert system, putting you in a defensive state. But this same protective mechanism causes the anxiety center, the amygdala, to become overactive. Take a day with 20 events. 19 goes smoothly and joyfully, but one leaves you dissatisfied. By bedtime, what you recall most vividly and dwell on is that one negative event. That's how the brain works, prioritizing and processing the bad before the good. This negativity bias isn't the only factor. The brain's memory structure also makes us more susceptible to negative experiences than positive ones. Broadly, the brain operates on two types of memory: explicit and implicit. Explicit memory includes conscious, recallable, and expressible memories, like reciting a poem, recounting a trip, or remembering a specific date. Implicit memory, however, forms quietly through experiences, leaving strong emotional imprints that are often hard to recognize or name. This type of memory leans toward the negative. Trauma, threats, and pain are etched deeper to protect us in the future. This combination of negativity bias and repetitive mechanisms makes implicit memory dominant, while positive experiences often fade. Most human joys are fleeting, passive, and faintly recorded. For example, when praised, the positive emotion feels like temporary data in a buffer. To become a lasting memory, you need repeated praise. But no one praises us forever. As a result, beautiful moments are easily forgotten, while sadness and fear settle deeply within us. This is why bad news spreads faster. Negative, sensational, or scandalous stories grab attention powerfully. It's also why many people, despite countless happy moments, take them for granted. So, what's the consequence? We're not happy. We live in prolonged anxiety, constantly feeling insecure. With the rise of media, television, the internet, and smartphones, our brains are bombarded with information nearly 20 hours a day. Who's earning how much, how talented they are, how someone's kid attends a top school, how stunning that outfit is, and so on. All this shapes our neural networks. That's why it's rare to see someone with a high income, say hundreds of millions a month, feel truly happy. Every day, external pressures build up stress hormones in our bodies. This explains why so many people today face issues like anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, or claustrophobia. Scientists point out that the human brain has three main operating systems. At the core is the reptilian brain, controlling basic needs like breathing. Surrounding it is the mammalian brain, which processes emotions. Further out is the primate brain, responsible for logical thinking. These systems address three core human needs: safety, satisfaction, and social connection. From this, the brain operates in two states with two modes: the green state, corresponding to the adaptive mode, and the red state, tied to the reactive mode. When facing something unfavorable, if your brain's neural networks stay in the adaptive mode, it shifts to the green state. In this state, the brain's three systems work harmoniously, allowing you to feel safe, satisfied, and connected, no matter the challenge. Imagine this scenario. In the morning, while riding to work, a car suddenly cuts you off and speeds ahead. You give a light smile, thinking, maybe they're in a hurry, living life to the fullest. At the office, you accidentally knock over a glass of water. You calmly wipe it up, grateful it wasn't coffee. During a meeting, your boss points out issues in your report. You take careful notes, seeing it as a chance to improve. This is your brain in the green state. Its neural networks flexibly adapt to unexpected situations, embracing them with calm. But if the day starts with anger at that reckless driver, you chase them down, shouting, "What kind of driving is that?" Then, spilling water on your pants frustrates you more. When your boss critiques you, you think, "What a terrible day." After work, that frustration might follow you home, making you snap at loved ones or blame yourself. This chain of reactive responses keeps your brain in the red state. Sometimes, a neutral comment feels infuriating. Many life difficulties and strained relationships stem from our brains lingering in this red state. In the green state, your world is far more peaceful, and life becomes brighter. Notably, the green state triggers the release of endorphins and nitric oxide, substances with antibacterial, pain-relieving, and anti-inflammatory properties. Medical research shows that maintaining this state not only boosts overall health, but also reduces disease risk and promotes longevity. Conversely, the red state causes the brain to overreact to negative stimuli, heightening stress. Thus, training neuroplasticity to keep the brain in the adaptive mode, regularly turning on the green light, is the key to a balanced, healthy, and happy life. So, how exactly do we train our neural networks? How to rewire your brain for greater happiness. The method for training neural networks is summarized in 4 words. First, H for have, to experience. Next, enrich, to enrich. Then, absorb, to absorb. And finally, link, to connect. The first step, have, means experiencing something positive. How do you create a positive experience? Neuroscientists suggest starting with attention, or in simpler terms, being more mindful. There's a saying, the world doesn't belong to the rich or those with time, but to those who are mindful. A person who pays attention to their surroundings, who pauses to truly see, gains the whole world. Beautiful emotions and kind actions require mindfulness and exploration. For instance, children's laughter. Don't you usually find it noisy? But now, notice and discover the pure, innocent joy in that crisp sound. If it feels pleasant and calming, hold on to it. That's mindfulness. Being mindful means seeing the positive in every situation, discovering and savoring beauty in the ordinary. A cloud in the blue sky looks lovely. Walking under a canopy of trees feels wonderful. Sunlight streaming through a window, a dry leaf in late autumn, dew on grass, a stranger's smile, freshly baked bread, a random melody from a cafe, your mother's weathered hands, or the starry night sky. All these seemingly trivial things suddenly become beautiful and profoundly peaceful in your eyes. This is the process of mindfulness, beginning to rewire how your brain registers experiences. However, take note, when experiencing positive emotions, let them flow naturally, like a stream. Don't cling to them or force yourself to always feel them. Happiness often comes from delight. Pressure arises when you turn liking into wanting. For example, you see a beautiful bag and love it. But if you obsess over owning it at all costs, the happiness fades. This doesn't mean abandoning material desires, but serves as a reminder to let things unfold gently, balancing emotion and capability. Happiness lies in pure enjoyment. When the bag suits your taste and budget, you pick it up with a relaxed smile, free of burdens, debt, or guilt. Beyond noticing the positive, you can actively create it. How do you cultivate joy? Does it require spending lots of money or time on grand experiences? Not necessarily. Things don't need to be complicated. Research shows one of the simplest yet most effective ways is practicing gratitude. Start with the small, everyday things. Have you ever actively appreciated the objects you use? Take the laptop in front of you, for instance. Pause to thank those who invented, crafted, and perfected this technology, enabling you to work, connect, and create more flexibly and efficiently. Many think, I paid for it. Why be grateful? That mindset severs the positive neural connections in your brain. Viewing everything as a transaction makes it hard to feel true happiness. You can also reframe past hardships, recognizing how they've helped you grow. Additionally, act with kindness daily. Hold the door for someone behind you. Offer your seat to the elderly, children, or pregnant women. Help someone whose bike has fallen. Guide a blind person across the street, or simply share a smile. These small acts warm your heart. As the ancients said, do one good deed a day. Maintain this habit, and your heart will grow lighter and brighter. Finally, see life as full of opportunities. If you view every moment as a chance to savor and experience, each holds something precious. Every challenge is an opportunity to train yourself, making your mind calmer and your inner strength stronger. This is how we master the first step, have, enabling the brain to receive and truly experience positive moments. Next, you need enrich, enriching those positive experiences for your brain. For example, you gaze at a flower and feel relaxed, but if this happens only once or twice, you're still at step 1. These experiences enter the brain's temporary buffer and gradually fade. To enrich them, first, extend their duration. How long? Repeat each experience 5 to 10 times, or 10 to 30 seconds each. If there's a vase at home, look at it 5 to 10 times daily, 10 to 30 seconds each time. The problem is, we're often too rushed, barely glancing at things. If we do, we might snap a photo for social media without truly feeling the moment. As a result, many positive experiences quickly slip into the brain's forgotten zones. Beyond extending duration, intensify the feeling. Make it bigger, richer, more complete. To me, this is the art of deep mindfulness. For example, when drinking lemonade, look deeply. See the sunlight nurturing the lemon tree, the earth diligently providing nutrients, the rain washing each leaf, the farmer's careful hands harvesting each fruit, and so on. You also see yourself working hard, earning money to buy lemons and savor this tartness. The lemonade cleanses your body, fueling you to live more kindly. You realize this seemingly small glass holds the collective strength of nature's elements in harmony, and you are a piece in life's vast tapestry. Happiness and fulfillment, along with gratitude, naturally well up, not because you have something grand, but because you see the abundance already present. This is deep mindfulness, programming your brain to intensify its perception. Next, diversify your sensory engagement. Awaken all your senses, sight, smell, taste, hearing, touch, to evoke positive feelings. Personally, I dedicate at least 3 weekly walks in nature. During these, I touch the rough bark of a tree. Don't feel embarrassed as if it's odd. Try closing your eyes, hugging the tree, feeling its quiet life pulse through its cracked bark into your hands. If possible, remove your shoes to let your bare feet touch the earth. Feel the earth through each breath. Hear the wind rustling through leaves. Smell the faint scent of flowers, and let gratitude for nature's energy rise within you. You'll feel a gentle balance return to your mind and body. Try it, it's a remarkable experience. Finally, spark novelty, maintain curiosity, explore new things, and keep learning. These stimulate the hippocampus, fostering new cell growth in your brain. Now we move to step 3. If have is like kindling an emotional flame, and enrich is keeping that flame burning longer. Step 3, absorb is letting that warmth soak into your being, becoming part of you. What do you absorb? Peace, contentment, and love from the beauty around you. Simply put, if you feel peace, satisfaction, or love through an experience, absorption is happening. Positive experiences don't just stop at feeling good. They seep in, letting wholesome energy sink deeply into your mind and stay. The book shares a case. A woman had a cat that fell gravely ill, enduring intense pain. The vet advised letting it pass peacefully. The owner wept in deep sorrow, but ultimately accepted reality by holding her cat, stroking it, and recalling beautiful moments when it was a kitten, playfully curious, exploring everything. She reflected on the months it had been her companion. That inner love helped her say goodbye in peace. This is absorption, drawing positive emotions from cherished memories to fill the void of loss. How do you know you've truly absorbed? Observe yourself honestly and regularly. Your brain shapes itself based on what you experience. You become what you absorb. If you absorb gratitude, check if you're truly becoming more grateful, compassionate, and kind. If you absorb courage and strength, see if you're growing stronger. The sign of deep absorption is a quiet but clear transformation within you. The more positive energy you absorb, the more resilient and stable your neural networks become, making it harder for negative reactions, the red state, to intrude. Your positive foundation grows strong enough to support you through life's challenges. The final step in rewiring the brain is link, connecting. This is the deepest transformation, using positive experiences to replace and restructure negative memory regions in your brain. As humans, we all carry pain, some clear, some buried by time. But whether you try to forget or avoid them, they linger like weeds in your mind. The key is not to uproot or suppress them, as this activates the limbic system, triggering fight or flight responses. Instead, learn to plant new flowers. This method doesn't ask you to erase the past, but invites you to approach it with a brighter, more forgiving mindset. Take the case of a man who, instead of dwelling on the pain of being abandoned by his mother as a child, linked that pain to the calm of a still lake. each time he walked and gazed at the lake, a symbol of acceptance and release. The old memory, over time, ceased to be just a wound. It carried the gentle calm of water reflecting sunlight. This is how the brain learns a new, healthier, gentler, and more peaceful response. However, this process demands inner strength. You can only link painful memories to positive energy when you're strong enough to keep light from being swallowed by darkness. Otherwise, you may feel sadder. If your wounds are too deep, seek a therapist's support to safely navigate this step. And so, you've grasped the 4 vital steps in rewiring your brain. If you've ever wondered how to live more joyfully and peacefully, the answer lies not in the external world, but in your brain and how you train it daily. From mindfully noticing positive moments to actively nurturing the green state through thinking, sensing, choosing responses, and building habits, all can reshape your neural structure, transforming how you live your life. Happiness isn't elusive, it's a learnable skill. Your brain isn't fixed, it's fertile ground waiting for you to sow wholesome seeds. The journey to rewire happiness begins the moment you choose to pause, observe gently, and approach life with greater courage. Let me close with an inspiring quote from the author, which deeply moved me. Can you imagine what the world would be like if more brains shifted to the green state? Each moment you choose peace, you plant a seed for an awakened humanity. Every neuron shaped by positive light and love becomes a bridge to miracles. The greatest change doesn't come from the outside, but from how we reshape our minds. When millions of brains turn toward compassion, resilience, and gratitude, we don't just rewire ourselves, we co-create a new update for humanity. A world where stress gives way to understanding, brokenness is healed by attention, and fear transforms into courage. Believe that every time you choose the green state, you light a flame of hope, not just for yourself, but to illuminate the entire planet. Thank you for listening, and I wish you a truly green day, no matter what comes your way. If this resonates with you, share it to inspire others. Don't forget to like, follow, and turn on notifications for new content. Thank you.